The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. It's Monday morning here in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene is alongside, and oh, what a wonderful year it has been in the NFL.
Just win, baby!
The Las Vegas Raiders pulling Jeremy back even in the Beat the Chief contest.
Well, even...
Come on. It's even.
Is a very, okay. Because, yes, if you look at the games that we picked, then, yes, you and I tied. But I had to pick every game, which you had every opportunity to do, and you didn't. If you take those, winner!
No. We're not doing that.
So it's going to end in a tie. So that's what that's your solution, is it?
At this point, I'm going to do exactly what the Raiders should have done last night. Just take the tie. Just take the tie, and everybody wins.
No.
We all get in. Everything's fine. We got two teams from the same division in the playoffs. That's exactly what should have happened last night. But no. Right, Rich Bisaccia is going to be the asshole. He's going to screw it up for everybody.
No. No. You have two choices.
We had a push yesterday in the Cincinnati-Cleveland game.
By the way, the first push we've had all year long.
Yep.
In a game that we disagreed on.
Yep. It's the first push we had all year long. And by that leaves us at a dead even tie in the Beat the Chief contest.
So you have two options.
What?
And I'm going to give you until the end of the day to decide which one that you're more comfortable with.
Oh, God.
Because ain't neither one of them.
I'm not doing it. I already know what one is, and I'm not doing it. I'm not taking Georgia tonight.
All right. Then your other alternative is just to go ahead and say that
No.
winning.
Those are
your two options.
That's not gonna.
There are no other options here.
That's not gonna happen. I cannot, in good faith,
just take
everything. Just everything. Just take my loss.
Just take your L.
Take my loss. I dominated you for most of the season,
and now the clock has struck midnight. And what done happened? Tank boo-booed in his pants.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Seattle Sea Chickens. Thank you, Seattle Sea Chickens.
In this week's 10 games that we differed on, Jeremy was 6-3-1. So was the Chief.
Woo!
I was a measly 3-5-1, which made up the deficit that Jeremy had, and now we're dead split even.
And now we're tied.
61-56-1 overall for the season in games that we differed on. Yikes. I'm not doing it. We're going to spend all afternoon. The ESPN Asheville show is going to be 800% national championship game. I mean, we'll talk about some NFL stuff, obviously.
We're going to talk about the fact that every coach in the NFL is now looking around going, uh-oh.
Is today my day? We haven't the sun has barely risen above the peaks in Western North Carolina, and we already have 3 head coaches in the NFL that have been fired.
And 2 of them, we could have told you a month ago.
Mike Zimmer, Matt Nagy.
Yep.
And then the Miami Dolphins have fired Brian Flores.
And there's a reason for that. I have yet to hear anybody say this, and it bumfuzzles me.
Okay.
The coach that Stephen Ross is going to chase is his college coach. It's Jim Harbaugh.
His college coach. Oh.
He's Michigan.
He played for Jim Harbaugh?
No. He's a Michigan booster.
He's a Michigan booster.
And big old biggin.
I don't think I knew that about Stephen Ross.
He went to Michigan.
Well, wow.
So
he's going all in. Do you think this is already prearranged? Do you think he would have fired Brian Flores if Jim Harbaugh hadn't already shown interest?
Well, here's the Matt Nagy thing. Okay, if you watched Bears Vikings yesterday, First
Why
of all,
did you do
that? Why did you do
there
that
was
to
plenty of great football on yesterday.
Why did you do that to your eyeballs? And you know what? I only get to say this one more time, and it makes me very sad that I don't get to say this to Matt Nagy anymore. Mm-hmm. Run the damn ball! Why? For the love of all that's good and holy, do you look at Andy Dalton on the 1 yard line and go, "Hey, you know, it'd be fun if we bootlegged your slow ass outside,
right?"
And just watched you get freight trained with your back to the line. It happened twice.
Yeah.
And as somebody that had David Montgomery in DFS, all I could think was run the damn ball.
Oh, Chuck G, why are you gonna be taking the shots, man? The tank choked like Mama Cass on a ham sandwich. Jesus Christ. I mean, the poor woman died 40 years or 50 years ago. Let her rest in peace.
All you had to do was just maintain, and you couldn't do it. And it went exactly how I told you it was going to go.
See, I thought I had it too, because when I pulled the lines on Friday for the Beat the Chief contest, the Cincinnati Bengals were +6. And by 6, I win.
But at 5, we push, which is what
I
he had.
He had the 5, and I wouldn't have give him an extra point if we'd have been different and I'd have been down. So I can't really say anything. I would not have stood for that. So I could not let this stand. As the dude
so now we have to come up with some way to
well, it's not going to be the national championship tonight.
I don't know how we could do it any other way.
But
there's no other way.
No.
Because I'm not taking the Raiders against the Bengals. I know what your idea is.
I mean, I feel like that should be the tiebreaker game, since the Cincinnati line was the one that fucked us up, and the Raiders were the one that stole the show.
Saved me.
Yeah, they did. I feel like maybe we should do that. I mean, we should go all in on the wild card game.
That's not going to happen. However,
why not? Because Cincinnati's going to win. Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say. Look,
are you scared? Are you as scared as I am about taking Georgia tonight?
Joshua Pennick said we could pick all the playoff games. Well, and here's the thing.
Oh, we're going to do that anyway.
We're going to do that anyway, and we considered that. The only problem is that of the 6 games that are going to happen this weekend, we differ on one of them.
Yeah.
And I would wager as we go down the line, we're not going to differ on that many. So when there's only 13 games, it kind of makes it hard.
Well, if we're only going to differ on one of them, then why shouldn't that be the
No, we are not.
That shouldn't be the tiebreaker.
No, sir.
I mean, it's not fair it's not fair to shift sports on me. See, this is an NFL contest. We can't let college decide it.
I don't believe we can.
Especially when everything in my brain tells me Alabama's going to win tonight.
And you know why?
Why?
Because I clarified that. On Friday, I told you exactly how this was going to go.
You did. You called it.
I called my shot of I would be down 1 game. I thought we were tied.
Yep.
Wicked Weed Beers went in my face, and a math wrong. Okay, right. I forgot he took San Francisco. Thank you to Asheville Police Chief David Zack, who I watched the Bills and the Jets game with. He reminded me that you took San Francisco, dirty bastard.
Yeah. Adam Black says we could pick the score. We could pick the score of the national championship.
Or
the playoff
from
game.
The jump. I set this on Friday. We would be tied, and there would only be and hubris comes shortly before the fall, and you didn't think that could happen because I told you what was going to happen is I would be down 1 game. Just win, baby. Give me the Raiders. Give me the Roll Tide. Give me the title.
Nah.
I said it.
You did say it, but I never agreed to it, and I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to hinge that. I think Vegas is wrong about tonight. But anyway, we'll get more into that this afternoon on ESPN. Ash, we'll continue to fire away with your suggestions.
There is no way you could possibly win this better. And here would be my defense. There is no way you could win this better than me taking Alabama as I have thrown shade at you nonstop. Mm-hmm. Nonstop for what? A month?
Mm-hmm.
Just picture it. Picture it, if you will. We come in here tomorrow, and you're the national champion, and you have won the pick segment. you have all the things. Mm-hmm. That's the best way this could possibly go for you.
Do you know me? I'm going to ask you the same thing my wife asks me sometimes. Did you wake up with a new co-host? Because
no.
Because these don't go in my favor. And I'm just not. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
Armchair Commentary said, "I think you did agree to it, and we have receipts that said you said it would never get to this, but it did. But it did get to this, and here we are." And Adam Black said, "So pick the score." Well, here's the only thing. Like, how are you going to? That's one thing if you've got 100 people doing it. Mm-hmm. We have 2. All right, so I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you, my score is going to be something in the neighborhood of 31-24, Alabama.
Yeah.
All right, so what if it's 10-7? That would mean one of us has to pick. And if we're playing Price is Right rules, then I'll go 3-0, and you pick first, and I'm going to win.
Yeah, that's tough to do with just 2 people. Tough to do.
I mean, if we go Price is Right rules, then just like Rochambeau, I call second. I like my chances if I'm the second one to pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And if we're talking about total score, our score is entirely too close.
Yeah. We're on to the playoffs.
Nope. No, sir.
We're on to the playoffs.
No, sir. I am going to find a way. I want to mark this tape at 13 minutes and 44 seconds. Mm-hmm. Before this day's over, I am going to find a way. And it might be just me talking immortal shit all day long.
Which is the most likely thing.
And most likely me, maybe making some references to you being something that rhymes with Rusi. Put a P in the front of that word.
Okay.
If I do it for long enough, I am eventually going to get him to agree to this. Yeah. And in all reality, it's the thing that makes the most sense.
Armchair Commentary says Tank really thought he was going to win. I did. Yeah. I did when it got close yesterday. I was like, Cincinnati. I had the line wrong. And I thought I had one. I thought I had him by a game. And apparently not.
Oh, and if I come back to win this, and if I win it on an Alabama win in the national title game, oh boy.
Anyway, the NFL playoffs are set. We have all of the seedings.
And just, Indianapolis Colts.
What the fuck? I mean, it couldn't have been any easier. You had the Jacksonville Jaguars. All you had to do. Jeremy said it. You said it yesterday. All you gotta do. They showed up. They brought their pads. It's all done.
And then,
apparently not. 7 damn years of futility when you go to Jacksonville. There's some sort of a curse on the Indianapolis Colts winning in Jacksonville. And, God, I mean, who do you lay the blame on this one for? I mean, is it all Carson Wentz's fault?
No. I look directly at one person and go,
that's the sound the bear makes.
Frank Reich, what are you doing? What in the world was that? Carson Wentz, did we have something? Did he go full Space Jam? Mm-hmm. Did the Monstars show up and take all his talent away? Jonathan Taylor, what the fuck? Averaged 5 yards a carry, and they just went, no.
All done with this.
It got us here, but no. I mean, it's the most poetic thing I've ever seen in my life. Because if you remember, over the course of the entire year, I said the Indianapolis Colts are going to be the best team that misses the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And then you got to a point where I went, well, you can't possibly lose to Jacksonville.
No.
But you could, though. But in theory, you actually could.
They only had 233 yards of total offense yesterday.
They were horrid. I mean, horrid.
And the Jacksonville Jaguars defense looked fucking dominant.
And here's the thing. I'm going to be really honest with you, and I mean what I'm getting ready to say. There's another coach that should be fired today. His name's Frank Reich.
Really?
100%. You cannot do that. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. You did the Carson Wentz thing. That was your idea. He was your little boyfriend from your time in Philadelphia. You convinced me to give up a first-round pick for him. And what beat us yesterday? Carson Wentz being Carson Wentz.
Yep.
And I'm telling you right now, if I was Jim Irsay, I'd be looking at Frank Reich going, I'd be going full Step Brothers. If that motherfucker looks at me, I swear to God, I won't.
An interception and a fumble yesterday for Carson Wentz, and they were quite timely. He got sacked 6 times, 2 times by Josh Allen. And
by the way,
the Jaguars defense just I mean, like, fourth quarter, they had a 4th and goal stop that was just unbelievable. That you could, muster it all together. I just don't get it.
And then we almost had 2 ties. The thing that we kept talking about.
Who the fuck plays for a tie?
Nobody ties in the NFL. But they almost did. Oh, shit. Oh, there's me. Shit.
There's me. Jacksonville, 26.
Is that what you people wake up to? Good God, that's horrifying.
Jacksonville, 26, Indianapolis, 11. And it threw everything yesterday just into complete pandemonium.
Oh, yesterday was unbelievable.
I
take back all of the things that I said about the 17-game schedule.
Right.
I take it all back.
Good.
You know what? Now let's play 30. Fuck it. You know what? If adding games is going to keep doing that, I'm all the way in.
I mean, it was high drama all the way to the end. You couldn't ask for a better game last night with Las Vegas and Los Angeles.
I wouldn't know. I fell asleep.
Oh, no. For how long? I mean, like, how long did you make it?
This morning. Let's see. I got into the 3rd quarter. So here's the thing. I don't drink much anymore. So when I do, it's not at the same.
You get kind of bi-floor?
No, I didn't go full bi-floor, but I can't quite drink at the same veracity that I used to. Mm-hmm. So, you get to a certain point, it's like, oh, well, this pillow is very comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, even Amy is goading me on now. She said, just take Georgia. There's a 50% chance you could shut Jeremy up. It would be worth it. Or if Alabama wins, then yeah, no.
Because
okay.
Yeah, see, that's what nobody's. See, that's the mountain that I have to get over today. I have to get him past the insufferable nature of, if I'm right, it's not going to be good. But you could have the ultimate trump card on me forever.
I could.
Because it would be the ultimate. Nobody has ever had a trump card on me like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you could.
I could.
You're just 1 60-minute and a decision away.
It's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
I bet it does.
Indianapolis threw everything into turmoil, though, yesterday. And, well, I mean, it opened up the door for Pittsburgh. God. I mean, why do I ever doubt Mike Tomlin?
I don't know.
Why do
I don't know.
I mean, when they were, 3-4? This is when we were talking about, this is a god-awful team. They're never coming back from this. It's going to be the first losing season. And somehow, in the end, Pittsburgh ends up 9-7-1 and makes the damn playoffs.
At Kansas City.
God. And they're going to get roughshod.
I don't like Pittsburgh on the road. I don't, and I haven't. But I guarantee you Kansas City's looking at this going, son of a bitch. Why? Of all people, why did it have to be you on the Ben Sayonara tour?
There ain't enough mojo in the world, man.
Oh, God.
Is there?
I don't know.
Is there enough mojo in this world to go, Big Ben needs one more playoff run?
Here's how I could potentially see it happening. What if it's just cold as hell and snowy and gross, much like yesterday was in Baltimore, and Ben just finds a way?
I mean, it'd be great. It'd be great for him. You guys know how I feel about Ben Roethlisberger. I feel like his time has come and gone. but I can't just outright dismiss the guy. I mean, I feel like I should. I feel like I mean, still yesterday, did anybody look at Big Ben and go, "Oh yeah, that's a guy ready for a playoff run"?
No. I would be I would be remiss. I've actually been waiting for a fan of this team to mention this, and Safwan bin Malik just did it for me. I believe it is time for you to put some respect on Derek Carr's name, because the Raiders are playoff bound.
No.
Mr. Derision, the Raiders can't make the playoffs. The Raiders aren't a good team. Well, where are they now? And your beloved Chargers, where did they go?
Mm-hmm.
Home.
Mm-hmm.
As the official card-carrying captain of Team Gets Mine, I'm the original.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's time for you to go, Jeremy was right, and I was wrong.
Okay, Jeremy was right, and I was wrong.
Woo! Just win, baby!
I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed that the Raiders were able to win the last 4 games of the season and make this push into the playoffs. Good on you.
I feel like
now just wait.
I feel like
this weekend it's not going to go.
Oh, you think they're just going to get the piss beat out of them?
Fuck yeah! 30 points, just dust them.
So we've talked about doing something for quite some time.
Yeah,
and I see a path that this should be the one we do it with. We've talked about doing a play-by-play live reaction of an NFL game, and I feel like the Sportsocracy Bowl between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Las Vegas Raiders is the right call.
You think there's interest in that? Would you guys be interested in that?
In the comments. That game's at 4:30
on Saturday afternoon. We come in here to the studio and we watch the game, and we'll just live watch it and
Wicked
talk
Weed
shit.
Beers and I mean, obviously we can't show the game because we don't have an NFL deal to show the. But just, I mean, you would have to teach me the FCC rules of breaking down film and shit like that.
Right.
Of what am I allowed to talk about? What am I not allowed to talk about?
Well, you can talk about anything you want to. It just has to be at least
30 seconds.
It's 30 seconds after the live broadcast.
To break down plays and film and shit like that, I have to be 30 seconds behind the action. That's what you're telling me.
Yes. It can't be right on play-by-play with the game. So it's got to be delayed, which we'll already be watching it on a stream, so it'll be delayed from live anyway.
Adam Black said, will the drunk guy on the couch be there? God bless you. See, it's things like that that are
the true ones, the true long-time
the ones
fans
that have been here since our budget was like what I spend on flip-flops. You know those because they say things like that. If you don't know what we're talking about, ask somebody that's been here ask somebody that's been here since the get-go. They'll tell you what we're talking about.
You're gonna have to shut up eventually.
Oh my God, that is my favorite thing. Adam Black just won the week. You have won the week. Everybody else, you don't have a chance.
God, that was it last year or year before last draft.
By the way, if you don't believe evolution is a thing, I want you to look at our draft coverage. The first year was that. The second year was what we did in the Wicked Weed studio last year. And the third year, we're going to be in Vegas live for the draft.
That's great.
That is progression. Because the only step above that is that, I have to be president of the United States. And when do I turn 35? This year.
There you go. God help us all.
Oh God, that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy.
So the Raiders, they're better than I thought they were. Okay, they're better than I thought they were. They were able to pull off 2 wins against teams that I thought for sure were playoff teams in the last 2 weeks. They got them at home. They beat the Indianapolis Colts. They beat the Los Angeles Chargers. Frankly, at this point, they are a bigger surprise in this season to me than the Cincinnati Bengals were. And that's saying a lot. Because I believed in the Bengals from, week 7 on? The Raiders, I haven't believed in at all. I still don't. I mean, I think they're going to go to Cincinnati and get smoked this weekend, but okay.
By the way, I just realized Michael Whiteside asked if that was Brian Haynes.
No, it was not Brian Haynes.
It wasn't. I do think it's funny. We've done 2 years of draft coverage. You've been there for every pick.
Yes.
As have I.
Yes.
As has Cowboy Zach Hurst.
Mm-hmm.
None of the three of us have ever been the talking point of the draft.
No. Last year,
there has been somebody that came from the outside and was the talk of the draft coverage.
Right. Last year it was Brian losing his mind over Kadarius Toney, and then the first year it was drunk guy on the couch.
Yes.
Like, who is that drunk guy on the couch that just will not shut up?
And his name is never said. I think that's the funny. His name has never been said on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is hilarious. God, who's that? Who will it be this year? God, and why is it Kevin Vick? Why invariably is it going to be Kevin Vick gets arrested on camera for visibly?
Wow, arrested. That's
Las Vegas.
A little intense.
Well, I mean, if anybody's going to arrest him, I'm thinking it's really going to be me. But we're bringing the chief of police with us. So
I don't even think that you could get arrested in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's bullshit. Oh, you were freaking wrong.
Yeah. Prove it wrong. I'm gonna see if I can get Jeremy in trouble.
Evan Doyle said, "Bring back drunk guy on couch."
Mm-hmm.
I can probably make that happen.
Yeah. Las Vegas Raiders continue to win on buzzer-beating field goals by Daniel Carlson. I mean, they are the new Pittsburgh Steelers. They're gonna play you close enough up to the end to be able to get in close range, and Daniel Carlson knocks it through. You got to respect that. As a team that's got a lot of grit, and Derek Carr he has had a hell of a year.
Yeah,
and there is no path forward without Derek Carr.
No. It is officially time for the Derek Carr disrespect to stop. And I'm gonna be really honest with you, he wasn't particularly good last night.
Mm-mm.
But he
made clutch plays. Yeah, he made clutch plays when he needed to.
And Josh Jacobs had a good game. Josh Jacobs kept the offense on schedule.
He's turned the Kirk Cousins corner for me. For years of down on Kirk Cousins, like he'll never be a thing. And, he is. He is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL, and Derek Carr deserves to be in that conversation. And I applaud the kid. I like him. Just never thought he was great. And he's borderline.
Armchair commentary has a good point.
Yeah.
First, your Rusey self won't take Georgia, and now you're trying to get me arrested at my own wedding. Thanks, Dick.
Hey.
With friends like you who needs enemies.
Hey, you said you're the one that said, "Oh, I bet I can get arrested."
I wasn't.
Put your bail money where your mouth is.
I wasn't daring them. I'm terrified of
jail.
Yeah. It's all those angry people. I don't do that shit.
Oh, come on. You used to be an MMA cage fighter. You could do this.
Well,
you could survive prison.
Yeah, you know what they don't have in an MMA cage? Toothbrushes that are crafted into knives. That would have made all of those events much more difficult. I had to break out my Rodney Carrington theory of nobody wants to fight the naked guy.
I've seen American History X, and you're going to have to join a gang soon.
Out. Yeah, I'm out. I don't want to do any of those things. This is the reason that I don't speed. This is the reason that I don't do bad shit, is to avoid ever. Yeah. By the way, I have to just simply because you said this.
See, I'm the fat guy from Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, yeah.
You, on the other hand, you have to be the guy from the biker gang who joins a crew not to get your ass whipped by all the other guys.
Oh yeah, you would be married in prison in 9 minutes.
100%.
They wouldn't have even taken your fingerprints, and you would already have a veil and a dress.
Mm-hmm. There'd be a dude leading me around on a leach in 35 seconds.
With his hand in your hand in his pocket.
Yes, sir. Let's go. I don't even like breakfast.
Oh, God.
And this is why I make friends with people at high places. Yeah. So if I ever do get in trouble, maybe they can bail me out.
Yeah, if you've ever seen the show Leverage, I would be the long-haired guy. Tank just pisses him off, and he goes, "You kick his ass." Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all.
Right.
Adam Black asked, Jeremy and Amy, is Elvis doing the wedding? So we have there is a lineage of who we want to marry us, because I have an ultimate, no doubt, number one, he's gonna have to tell me no before I actually allow somebody else to do it.
Have you approached this person?
I've seen a couple emails.
Have you? Good for you.
I mean, they haven't been responded to, but
I'm sure they haven't.
my ultimate goal is Mel Kiper.
Mm-hmm.
I want Mel Kiper Jr. to marry us.
Which is the wrong path. It's the wrong path.
No.
You know who I think you got a better shot at getting?
Who?
Frank Caliendo doing Mel Kiper.
Oh, that's, you know what? That might be better.
I think you'd have an easier shot at getting him.
Somehow that might actually be better.
I mean, not that I have any connection to Frank Caliendo. I'm just saying, I feel like that would be an easier shot.
I would love to be the first couple that Mel Kiper ever married live on draft coverage.
Yeah.
Mel Kiper refuses to even pee at the draft. So
He's not taking time out of his busy schedule to marry you.
Have you ever heard that story?
Uh-huh.
That Mel Kiper has never peed at a draft, ever?
Mm-hmm. He is locked in for 6 to 8 hours every day of the draft.
Chuck G said we should get Nick Cage to marry us.
The bunny back in the box.
Only if he does that voice. That's the only way. Because I don't want Nick Cage. Who? What? Where? I don't want that. Do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Sickness and health. Till death do you part. I don't want that under any circumstances.
Although he would probably be the cheapest option out of the 3 that we've said.
Only if he wears that fake hair that he wears now. Because Nick Cage is bald as an onion, and yet now he all of a sudden has hair.
Totally. He's got the Benjamin Franklin haircut.
The skullet.
Yeah, he's got the skullet.
The skullet.
When he gets home, he takes off the wig and he puts it away at night.
And he puts it on
he powders his forehead.
And he puts it on his cat. Like, look, the cat has hair now.
Oh, Fluffy. You're using that shampoo I bought you for Christmas.
It puts lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose skin.
How the hell did we get down this path?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, God. Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about people.
About Vegas.
We were talking about people to marry us. So currently, the presidential lineage of people to marry us is Mel Kiper 1, Frank Caliendo as Mel Kiper at 2, and apparently Nick Cage is needing to be unseated at 3. I'm gonna take his face off.
No. Let's not do that.
Nick Cage, Con Air Nick Cage, or nothing.
Mm-hmm. I imagine this is going to be more like every movie you've ever seen where you end up at the Chapel of Love, drive-through window, drunk as fuck the night before the draft.
Oh, no. No, here's how this... all right, look. If I were a betting man, and I am, I would wager we're going to get somebody better than you think. In Vegas for the draft, I have enough connections and like I'm not telling you it's going to be Mel Kiper. I can see a path where it could be Daniel Jeremiah. Wow. Hold on. Devin Joba. Deep.
I'm your huckleberry.
He said, don't worry, I'm not offended that you didn't ask your pastor best friend. Here's the thing. You're fully expected to be there in the party. And Adam Black is the official, he's the official pastor of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we have options. I am personally looking for a funny option. And somebody asked if Amy had agreed to this, and the answer to that is a vehement no, she has not.
No, she has not.
She has not. She is the coolest woman on the planet Earth.
She has agreed to getting married in Vegas, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She is the coolest woman on Earth, but she has yet to agree
to make a mockery of the ceremony.
Correct. Because Chuck G said it should be Buffalo Bill.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Was she a great big fat person?
Yes.
Do
you dare me
take this lovely woman, Amy?
And I mean, she is a lovely woman.
And Amy, do you take this great big fat person to be All right, he has passed Nick Cage.
Yeah,
All right, Nick Cage is back down to 4.
Whatever that dude's name is.
Buffalo Bill. That's his official name. Yeah, he doesn't have a real name. He's only referred to as Buffalo Bill from here on.
Right.
Michael Whiteside said,
I'm your huckleberry.
I'll be there with Jaeger. The sky is the limit. Let's go. Patrick Holt said just get Wayne Newton. I feel like Wayne Newton would be more difficult than Mel Kiper.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And I still don't know what Donkashane means, and that's the only song of his I've ever heard.
Thank you.
I like that something. Armchair.
What? Gary Busey.
Oh, God. Go! I have so many buttons of
The point in the ceremony where he turns to look at Amy and goes,
"These tomatoes aren't even ripe."
"Are you sure you take this, man? I think
We got to recharge your Brave batteries.
Yep, that's how that goes down.
Oh, that is tremendous.
Mm-hmm. Amy's dream would be for Big Ben to marry you guys. Big Ben has a different dream.
Big Ben in Vegas. I'm out. Yeah,
Sorry.
Big Ben is not going to pass Nick Cage on the.
I'm not supposed to talk bad about Big Ben. Can't do it. My wife gets mad.
Can we just do this show like every day? If we haven't talked about sports in a solid 15 minutes, and I frankly do not care.
Oh yeah. Chuck Mangione should play at the wedding. Who the hell's Chuck Mangione?
Oh, the trumpet guy from King of the Hill. You know,
was
Chuck
that
Mangione
the Price is Right theme song?
No,
that's what it sounded like.
No, the Price is Right theme song is.
Let's see what else we can get him to do. Can you do the Bama fight song?
Yeah. The Bama fight song is easy as hell. We're going to hear that plenty enough this afternoon.
God. Okay, so I was wrong about the Raiders. Jeremy was right. I was wrong about the Los Angeles Chargers. Jeremy was right. Is there anything else I need to clear up from that? San Francisco 49ers. Jeremy was right. I was wrong.
I literally...
And here's my thing. Okay, so San Francisco comes out. They win last night or yesterday evening against the Los Angeles Rams. Good for you. You clinched the playoff spot, all that kind of shit. The takeaway from that game for me is, though, is Matt Stafford ever going to be the clutch guy? Is he ever going to be able to do that? I mean, it was the Matt Stafford interception in overtime that sealed it for San Francisco. And I get you just got to heave it up. You got to hope for the best. But it was just another example of you can come so far. Can he take them farther than Jared Goff did? No.
So your overreaching thing here on Matthew Stafford is that they lost a game of absolutely no consequence to a team that had to win to make the playoffs.
He was trying to make the play at the end of the game and couldn't do it.
100%. Against a team that is equivalently good to them.
Mm-hmm.
I fully believe the three teams from the NFC West are all equivalently good.
Okay.
By the way, Seattle, there's a great irony to the fact Seattle was my last win before the Raiders and the Chargers.
Yep.
There's a great irony to that. The team that I have dutied on all year long, and that is the one that put me in the position for the last game to be the tiebreaker.
Yep.
Tremendous. God, I love betting. God, I love betting. I'll bet anything. And it's for shit like this, just because it made yesterday so much more interesting. I was so into yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, my wife is watching the Steelers and the Ravens, just pinned to the couch cushion like, we could actually make the playoffs. And I'm sitting there going, I don't give a fuck who wins this game.
Mm-hmm.
I just care that they only win by a field goal.
Right.
As long as Baltimore doesn't score a touchdown, I don't give a shit who wins this game. That's betting in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, who are you rooting to win? Don't care.
But means nothing to you. The fact that Matt Stafford tried to make the play, couldn't make it happen in overtime, or it doesn't matter to you? It doesn't give you a window into how tough it's going to be for LA to move on in these playoffs when your back's against the wall and you need Matt Stafford to make that play.
Well, here's the thing. The NFC goes through Green Bay, and I don't think any of you are beating them. I don't think any of you are going into Green Bay and beating them.
I think you're right about that.
And I mean, I'm looking at the 3 NFC games, 2 Sunday and then the Monday Nighter.
Mm-hmm.
I do not give a flying rat's ass who wins any of those games.
And I think it's going to be Tom.
And
again.
I think there's going to be 2. I think you'll get 2 of the home teams, and I think San Francisco is going to beat Dallas. Do you have any disagreement there?
I don't think so.
By the way, that's why we're not picking the playoff games. Because we did this before the show. I was really just looking to see if his opinion had changed in the last 45 minutes.
No.
Because outside of that, we agree on every other game. Outside of the Raiders and the Bengals, that is the only game that we even disagree on the line, let alone who wins.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why that gets difficult. Crazy Blade asked in the first of all, we're like an AA meeting for sports. Crazy Blade. Do you think the Raiders will hire their interim coach? I think they should.
I think they
should.
Will.
And you keep Gus Bradley. But and look, if things hadn't gone so cattywampus with that team, there is no telling where they could be. That's why they're so damn dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're getting healthy-ish. And look, Zay Jones is not Henry Ruggs. I get that. But Zay when David Zack, Asheville Police Chief David Zack, during the Beat Chief segment said, I don't understand why they're throwing to Zay Jones so much. I do. I fully do. He's not particularly good, but they have a mishmash of weapons that are just difficult enough to cover. Brian Edwards is difficult to cover.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a great receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a 60 snap a game guy, but he's a good-ish receiver. So is Zay Jones. So are a slew of other guys. And then you have the two. You got Hunter Renfrow, who makes timely catches. Do you know what Hunter Renfro's stat line was last night? And I don't even have to pull it in front of me because it's blazed into my brain.
Yeah, no.
How many catches do you have?
5? 4?
How many yards do you have?
100 and something?
13.
Really?
2 touchdowns. 4 catches, 13 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He only had 13 yards?
Watching that game, you felt like he was a way bigger piece of that offense. He wasn't. It's blazed into my brain because I saw it and went, I could have sworn he had more than that. But he didn't.
I thought he had a big one at some point.
Nope.
No, I guess not. Wow.
4 for 13 with 2 touchdowns.
That is awful.
Just timely receptions.
Right.
And that's the thing about the Raiders. That's why I'm looking at the playoffs right now going, all right, New England. Do I think New England go in Buffalo and win? Fuck no. No. I just watched them get abused by the Dolphins on the road because they got behind and you don't have another gear. You just don't have it.
Right.
Oh, Buffalo struggled with the Jets. Yeah, because their punter couldn't get one from across the studio. Did you see that yesterday?
I did.
Matt Hack had 4 punts that literally, I have seen piss streams of mine go further than that. I mean, it was unfreaking believable. And I watched that entire game with Chief Sack going, I swear to God, if the Jets screw me on this and we don't end up with a top 5 pick in the draft I'm going to be so mad.
And you didn't. You got your 2 top 10 picks.
2 top 10s. Unfortunately, it's 4 and 10. But speaking of that, my first 7-round mock draft this week.
Oh, we have an update. We have another firing in the NFL. The Chicago Bears have finally decided, yes, GM Ryan Pace is going to be gone. So they have done the same thing that the Minnesota Vikings did, fired the coach and the GM.
Which is what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else going to get
next?
No. Joe Judge will be retained.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's been known.
I feel like you need to.
That's been known. That has been known.
Yeah,
Joe Judge
but
coming back. Joe Judge coming back. They're going to hire another GM that's comfortable enough with Joe Judge.
Yeah. Okay.
I love being the smarter team in New York. It hasn't happened a lot in my life, but here we are.
So Pace and Nagy are out in Chicago.
Well, I mean, and everybody's talking about the game yesterday with you're playing Jake Fromm at quarterback. What really are you going to glean on that?
It's just so bad, and it looks so bad, and it was like what was it? They did the quarterback sneak from the 4-yard line at their own 4-yard line on a 3rd and 9, just trying to make more room for the punter.
Oh, look.
In some senses, that makes sense. But the problem was the play call. The problem was they lined up in an obvious goal line jumbo package or whatever. Everybody knew what was coming. You thought you couldn't get 2 yards on regular play?
No,
you couldn't.
Patrick Holt, breaking news on our show.
I'm here for the gangbang.
Stephen Ross, owner of the Miami Dolphins. I'm not going to be the person to take Jim Harbaugh from the University of Michigan.
Oh. Well then.
That's that really calls into question the Brian Flores thing for me then. This is what I don't understand about NFL teams.
Yeah.
If you're firing Brian Flores, who in the fuck are you firing him for? Who are you looking at going, yeah, that's the guy. First of all, the Deshaun Watson thing, number one attraction in Miami for him was Brian Flores. Well, he's gone. That, which, by the way, just throws the Deshaun Watson thing into a billion pieces, and it is so par for the course for that story.
Right.
So, I mean, what are you going to do? Go hire Brian Daboll? And yes, I do see the irony that that's the one that I'm constantly talking shit about. He worked for the Jets. Okay.
Right.
Another guy reasonably well.
Well, hell, he's worked for every other team in the AFC East, so.
Yeah. I really don't understand. I really don't understand the premise of firing Brian Flores because you showed so much life. You showed so many things, and yeah, you beat a bunch of bad teams. Whoop de fuck. I don't care about I care about how much better the team looked.
Yeah, but how many times are you going to do that? Because didn't they do that last year as well?
100%. Yeah, I mean, and you got to look at Brian Flores and go, you're the reason that we were in this position in the first place. But here's what I don't understand. Why, if that's the case, because what this told me is that Brian Flores was as good as fired as soon as this was over. As soon as the Jaguar game was over and they flew back from London, why'd you not fire him then?
Yeah.
Why'd you not just fire him then? And then you could have carried this momentum. Because that's the thing I don't understand. You win, what they win? 8 of their last 9 games?
Something like that, yeah.
And then you fire the coach. So basically, you just looked at the entire team and went, okay, all that growth didn't mean jack shit. Yes, I did turn jack shit into one word, jit.
Better job, Broncos or the Dolphins, asks Adam Black. I'm going to say it's the Broncos.
I'm going to agree with you. The problem with the Dolphins is that I don't see a path to you being the best team in your own division. And I don't really see that with Denver, but if you wound up with a Deshaun Watson or somebody like that, if the Dolphins wound up with Deshaun Watson, they're still probably the third best team in their own division.
Yeah, maybe.
The Broncos, and yeah, that's a tougher division. I would say the Broncos' job is better. What's the worst job? Because to me, it's not
Jacksonville.
Close. No, you're wrong. God, what I saw out of Trevor Lawrence, I can argue that's the best job.
Yeah.
The worst job to me is point blank,
Chicago.
obvious as shit.
Chicago.
Yeah. Chicago, and then it's Minnesota too. I just watched my quarterback have the best year of his life, and you still missed the playoffs by 3 full games. 2 full games.
Nah, I can't get there with you. I think Jacksonville's the worst job.
You're drunk. I mean, straight up, you're drunk. That means you're saying
why would you want to be attached to that franchise? They're going to fuck it up somehow.
Because they just made the ultimate fuck up, which means that you're going to see Shad Khan recede back into the shadows where he was. When Tom Coughlin was there, how often did we say Shad Khan's name? Never. And guess what? He's going to do it again.
Oh, and good. Trent Baalke gets to be the face of the franchise.
And here's the thing. Trent Baalke's been good at player acquisition, which is what GMs need to be. You hire the CEO of the team as your head coach, but it's going to have to be somebody that's you can, and that's the Tammy theory all over again. When you date the girl that puts cigarettes out on your couch, the next one's going to be a fucking librarian. So you have douchebag Urban Meyer, of which, if you haven't heard the latest story about Urban Meyer, have you heard this?
No.
The hoodie story?
Oh, that he showed a picture of Trayvon Martin at a team meeting at Ohio State.
To why you can't wear hoods and a bit like.
Yeah.
How are you this stupid?
But I thought that had been refuted. There have been a lot of players that have said that doesn't happen.
Well, they fucking lied because Urban Meyer came out and said, yeah, it happened. It wasn't me, and we corrected it immediately.
Oh, did he?
Because he blamed it on another coach. The Urban Meyer thing still baffles me. Like, how in the fuck did you not know? Hell, I knew that.
Right.
If you remember the day he got hired, I said this will be the worst hire in NFL history.
I remember that.
Roy, our resident Jaguars fan, loves to chime in that I said that within 10 seconds of him being hired. Chuck G said he's surprised the Panthers are keeping Rule. I'm not. I'm not at all.
I'm not either.
Because who are you going to hire?
Right.
All right, let's ask that same question. Is the Panthers' job better than the Jaguars?
No.
No. Is it better than the Broncos? No.
No.
Is it better than the Dolphins? No. The answer is no. The answer is no. It's not even close.
I don't know.
You're down there with the Vikings and the Bears.
You don't have a quarterback.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And you don't have the capital to go get one. The Panthers are going to pick at 6. There's not a quarterback worthy of going 6th overall. There's not. And I love Sam Howell. I'm drunker on Sam Howell than anybody in any prognostication that I've seen is on any quarterback. And I still say you can't take him at 6. So, I mean, none of it surprises me. M85 asks, should Rich Bisaccia, is he a viable candidate for Coach of the Year? I want to hear your answer on that, and then I'll answer it.
I don't think so. I mean, he ends up, if we're doing like, MVP balloting, he'll end up with a first place vote.
He'd be my two. And solely because I can't not give it to, you're the one seed in your conference. I can't not give it to Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Your team fell apart at the seams, and they were legally left for dead on the side of the road, and you still wound up being the one seed.
Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick, Zach Taylor, Cliff Kingsbury, all those guys would get votes before him.
Yeah, Zach Taylor would have to be up there. God.
Yeah. There have been so many good coaching jobs done this year in the NFL that I don't think Rich Bisaccia, despite all the things that franchise faced, he can't be in the top 4 for me.
Oh, he 100% gets the vote before Cliff Kingsbury. And to me, it's not even close. I might put him ahead of Zach Taylor. It's super close. Because I'll be really honest with you, I give Joe Burrow way more credit than I give Zach Taylor. And Jamar Chase and just that unbelievable offense.
Right.
I don't necessarily credit that to Zach Taylor.
And I understand the argument.
At some point, you have to get some credit.
I completely understand the argument for Rich Bisaccia, but
God, I don't know who I'd put one now that I'm thinking about that. It would be the 3 of them. I would put their 3 names on the table and just go, sweet, good Lord, it's going to be one of you. I don't know which one. Hell, I might just put them in a hat and draw one.
Well, we know you're not going to vote for Bill Belichick because he's a jerk. Because that's your Hub-Arkish side.
I don't see how you. Well, no, I think Mike Vrabel's a jerk. And I think Zach Taylor's an idiot. That doesn't mean I won't vote for him. Now, the thing with Bill is, okay, so you're what are they, the 5? They're the 5 in the AFC?
Yeah.
Whoop-de-fucking-do. You're going to go into playoffs and get slaughtered. Hey, you hit the ceiling of that team.
They're the 6, by the way.
I thought
the Raiders ended up the 5.
That is the greatest shit. The Raiders, who literally could have missed the playoffs.
They're the 5 seed.
Wound up as the 5. Because the last day of the season was Pandalarium.
Yeah.
M85 said, Tank, rattle off who you'd put before him.
I just said him.
I know. I was trying to get to my board of
Bill Belichick. I think he's 1 for me.
No way. You come in as the 6th seed.
Mm-hmm.
So how in the hell are you going to vote for him over Zach Taylor? I really would kill to hear you defend that because it makes absolutely no goddamn sense.
I just feel like he's a better coach.
But that's not what the coach of the year.
Yeah.
If it's who's the best coach, then he should win it every single year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not how this works.
Zach Taylor.
Defend to me how Bill Belichick with that team that they spent $1 billion on is better than Mike Vrabel or Zach Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I would kill to hear an explanation that makes even the vaguest amount of sense.
The vaguest amount of sense. Because I didn't think they could be this, and I didn't. I didn't think that the Cincinnati Bengals could be.
You had them at 1-16 before.
Yeah, but I don't give Zach Taylor that much credit for that.
That's fine. And that's completely fine.
He had an unbelievable year with his rookie wide receiver and his quarterback.
Chuck G said, "I'm being a fanboy." And that it's understandable, but I'm not being reasonable. You tell me right now that New England doesn't have better talent than the Cincinnati Bengals, I will laugh you out of this building. The 11 starters for the New England Patriots on defense are better than anybody Cincinnati has, short of Trey Hendrickson.
Okay.
And Cincinnati finished ahead of you and won their division. There is absolutely no path to Bill being.
We also had a rookie quarterback that is way less talented than Joe Burrow.
Nothing. Who's doing literally nothing. He threw for 2,500 yards. You ran the ball aggressively. Oh. Sorry. I came into the backside of that. I was about to be like, I don't feel like I'm in any way being unreasonable. Sorry. My bad. This is what happens when we don't have HWA here. I'm reading the comments and doing all this shit.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. No, it'd be for me. It would be Bill Belichick. It would be Mike Vrabel, Zach Taylor, Cliff Kingsbury.
See, Kingsbury doesn't belong.
And then Rich
Kingsbury's got
Bisaccia.
unbelievable talent. Mm-hmm. The three
So does
teams
Zach
that you
Taylor.
said no, he has 2 unbelievable talents. The rest of that team,
T. Higgins is dog shit. Joe Mixon is dog shit.
I didn't say it was dog
shit.
shit.
But
He's
I mean,
got 2
you're discounting
prodigious
those
talents.
guys.
Okay, so let's be really honest. You said T. Higgins.
Yeah.
Do you realize how many receivers I have in Arizona? My 4 is Rondale Moore. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's pretty equivalent. Now let's go to the defense and realize, I've got J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones. Mm-hmm. Cincinnati had Trey Hendrickson. To me, and I hate Zach Taylor.
Right.
If you have him below 2, you're being disingenuous. And I firmly believe that. And I'm not giving him the credit. I've even said that. Mm-hmm. I give the credit to Joe Burrow. But at the end of the day, if you don't have him at 2, you're either lying to yourself or you're lying to me. And I don't know which one it is, and I don't really care. Because it makes no sense. Mm-hmm. And Vrabel, did you watch that team that played Houston yesterday? Mm-hmm. It was A.J. Brown and a bunch of dudes. I think they trotted out 5 different running backs at some point yesterday.
Yep.
And the defense was just killed. And he's been doing this for half a season, and he wound up as the 1. Mm-hmm. And I don't even like him that much. But I still look at that and go, good God, how in the world did you wind up as the 1?
Right.
I think Vrabel ends up winning it.
Okay.
Because the tiebreakers to me, the tiebreakers where you're seated. He's the one in the AFC.
Right. Can't get any.
Zach Taylor probably wins it because they're the biggest surprise team.
I mean, hell yeah, we were talking about Zach Taylor needed to be fired before the season even started. Hell, halfway through the season, you were talking, the Cincinnati team they can do so much better next year with Zach Taylor gone.
And I still believe that, and I still firmly believe that.
Yeah, but it's not realistic. It's not going to happen.
No. I still believe. But what I'm saying is, I think if Cincinnati had a different coach, I think their ceiling is higher. Mm-hmm. I don't think Zach Taylor can be the head coach of a Super Bowl winning team. Mm-hmm. I just don't.
That's why he was calling
John Harbaugh,
because he was talking about John Harbaugh.
And John Harbaugh did a great job. He won't get the first vote, and he shouldn't.
No.
I mean, yeah,
you can make a bigger argument for Mike Tomlin.
I would agree with that.
Than John
and I'll be honest
Harbaugh.
with you, Tomlin will get votes.
Sure. Because his team was DED dead, and somehow they still backed into the playoffs.
And he has a quarterback that I think would lose to me in a foot race.
Right.
By the way, one of the great moments of yesterday, that the completion, I think it went to Ray McLeod or Deontay Johnson. It was one of those receivers. Mm-hmm. Ben it was when they went for it on 4th down, and the receiver catches it and just falls backwards. Mm-hmm. Ben could have run for that with cement shoes, and he still looked at it and went, no. I'm not going to do it. No,
because all in all, as dumb as he looks, he was pretty smart on the football field.
Right, that was Ray. It was Ray McLeod.
He knows.
By the way, James Washington. Has anybody seen or heard from him in a while?
No.
I keep seeing Ray McLeod playing wide receiver for them, and I'm like, did James Washington die? And they just never reported it. Chuck G said you can't win Coach of the Year with a losing record. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I agree with you. And I mean, do I think he did a great job? Absolutely. And if they had limped into the playoffs backwards at 9-8, then now we can talk about him getting a vote. And that's the reason I say that's because I think he did the exact same job that Mike Tomlin did, and Tomlin would get a vote for me. Mm-hmm. I still don't know how I would get him ahead of the 3 that I've already said. Vrabel. And the one we haven't talked about is the team with the best record in the league. LaFleur.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
Yeah,
but every time I've had this conversation, people go, yeah, but he's got Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly.
Name me the coach other than Mike Vrabel that comes up for this where you look at his quarterback and go, well, he sucks. Because most teams with bad quarterbacks suck.
Right. No, Matt LaFleur's not even in the discussion.
Oh, he'll get votes.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Oh, he'll get, especially from that Midwestern media that looks at this team and goes, he's the one that bound it together with Aaron the asshole who wouldn't do what was best for his team.
Who lied to everybody.
Hub Arkish.
Good God.
Tell me you're a douch without telling me you're a douch.
No, for me, when I'm looking at Coach of the Year, I'm looking at teams that surpassed their expectations, and also there's that subjective part of it to me of I feel like your talent was too good with Cincinnati to give Zach Taylor all the credit, and
But I mean,
Mike Vrabel faced incredible odds, and Bill Belichick. He's Bill Belichick.
Patrick Holt said, "Who else is watching old episodes of Full House today?"
Oh,
R.I.P. Danny Tanner.
Yeah, that's so sad.
It's unreal.
It's so sad because on Saturday I saw Bob Saget's tweet of, "Hey, I'm going to be at the such and such tonight in Orlando, and hey, come on out and see the show." And I was like, I would love to see Bob Saget. And then to hear the news yesterday that he had been found dead in his hotel room at the age of 65 was like, son of a bitch. He was a genius. He was the grossest, crudest version of Danny Tanner that you could ever imagine. If you never watched his stand-up,
well, I mean, that was
and you went into it thinking, "I'm going to see Danny Tanner do stand-up," you'd be like, "Oh my God!"
Oh yeah,
the joke that he told in one of his stand-up bits about Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings, one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life.
Danny Tanner was not gay. Sung to "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, he was absolutely hilarious.
He was a great Twitter follow. And
I'm going to be honest with you. If you want to have a real good cry, which is not something that I do, I'd rust.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't.
We know.
Go back and listen to his podcast about Norm Macdonald.
Oh, okay.
It will hit you I think that's what normal people call feelings. Because it hit me like a ton of bricks just hearing it. A show I listened to played some of it this morning, and it was on my way to work. And because he was I don't know if you knew this or not, but Bob Saget was one of the only ones that knew about Norm Macdonald. Because Norm Macdonald had cancer and didn't tell anybody. Bob Saget was one of the few that knew. And now for him to be gone, just a couple months later, it's unbelievable.
It is very, very tragic. But week 18 in the NFL, it was drama filled.
Oh,
and if you didn't sit on the edge of your couch from 1 o'clock yesterday until 1 o'clock this morning, basically, you missed out. You absolutely missed out because it was a fun day of football. But we end up with, Green Bay as the number 1 seed. They get the bye in the NFC. Tampa is the 2. They will play against the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday at 1 o'clock. Dallas gets the 3. They got San Francisco up next at home.
Yeah, I don't.
In a 4:30 matchup.
That's the upset I'm looking at going, ew.
Yeah. I think San Francisco might have to have a little trip to Green Bay coming up in 2 weeks. But the Los Angeles Rams get the 4. Arizona Cardinals are the 5. That game will be played in Los Angeles on Monday night. Over in the AFC, got the Tennessee Titans get the bye, so Derrick Henry gets another week to get healthy and come back. They've got all their pieces, and that defense can be scary.
God, these playoffs are going to be insane.
Oh, it's going to be super
And if your team
fun.
didn't make the playoffs, like Gray Ford, he said the pride is going places next year. I still say the same thing about the Lions.
Oh.
I still maintain the same thing I've said about the Lions. I don't give a damn what your record was. That team, them and the Texans, those two teams have played very competitive football with very little talent. By the way, if you ever want to know why you should watch draft things from this show, who was my favorite receiver that was on the Chase Claypool team last year?
Amon-Ra
St. Brown. Top 15 receiver in the NFL right now.
Number 2 seed went to the Kansas City Chiefs. They will host the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday night at 8:15. Buffalo, the 3. They get New England again at home on Saturday night at 8:15. And then the Cincinnati Bengals are the 4, and the Las Vegas Raiders are the 5. 4:30 Saturday afternoon, and we will cover it live here in the Wicked Weed studio.
Yep, we'll do Cincinnati and the Raiders. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. And we've talked about doing this for a long time, and I feel like the football gods have said, you need to do this.
Yeah. Playoffs are a perfect time to do that, and we will bring that to you live on Saturday. Just hanging out, drinking some beers, watching some football, and we'll see. Can the Las Vegas Raiders continue to produce the magic, or will Cincinnati end up winning a playoff game? after Jeremy and I had them pegged for a combined 3 wins in this NFL season. We'll be with you this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400, where we will talk about, of course, mainly the national championship game tonight in college football in Indianapolis. You got number 1 Alabama, number 3 Georgia. Can Georgia do it? They look dominant in their semifinal game against Michigan, and for some reason that has switched everybody or switched Vegas to making them a favorite tonight against Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Frankly, that's one reason that I'm not doing this. The Beat the Chief contest, if you're just joining us, ended up tied between me and Jeremy. He's been trying to convince me to just have the winner take all tonight on the game, with him taking Alabama and me taking Georgia. I don't feel any kind of good about that, and I'm out. I can't do it.
I'm broke as shit, and I don't mind saying it.
This is just the universe setting Georgia and Georgia faithful up again for a massive, massive letdown.
You are one pathetic loser.
We'll talk about it this afternoon on ESPN Asheville. Thank you for joining us here in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Share it out with your friends as well. Tell them to join us here in the Sportsocracy this afternoon at 3.
I'm going to convince him to take Georgia.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
I'm trying.
Da, 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 da. We'll see you this afternoon. Where's the music? Oh, not that music. Stop that music. No. It's enough. That's enough.
Okay, but you got to turn it up.
Real outro music.
Real music.
Real outro music. Thank you.